reported multi-million-dollar ICE plan to provide migrant families with hotel rooms, free health screenings, and coronavirus tests, among other amenities, before releasing them after 72 hours. Spring in Texas, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick to discuss the ongoing border crisis as the immigration numbers continue to swell. Good to have you back, sir.
Good to be with you, Shannon.
I want to play something. I don't know if you heard it earlier in the show, but we have a soundbite from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the terminology that's been used about the border and what's happening. Here's what she says.
I want to say, what about the surge? First of all, just gut check, stop. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. This is not a surge. These are children, and they are not insurgents, and we are not being invaded.
There's been a lot made about the semantics about this. Is it a crisis? Is it a challenge? Is it a surge? Is it not a surge? Just give us the lowdown about what's actually happening at the border.
Shannon, the more I hear her speak, the more I realize she's really clueless about what's going on in the world. She's surely clueless about what's happening on the border. It is a surge. We're almost double the number of people that we were apprehending just a couple of months ago. In just this month, we apprehended 21,000 people in the third week of March and 27,000 people the last week. And by the way, 75% roughly of those that we apprehend, Shannon, are OTMs, other than from Mexico. So they're from all over Central, South America, and around the world. What AOC says continues to be idiotic and irresponsible. We had a Texas Ranger save a baby that was thrown in the river just recently. We had a child drowned in the river. We have over 10,000 overflowing in various bases, federal facilities and some private facilities that the federal government is taking over. AOC, if she isn't idiotic in what she says, then she knows better and is lying to the American people about what she says. I'm fed up, quite frankly, Shannon, with all of these people in Washington who have no idea what's happening on the border, or they know and they're just lying to the American public. The Biden administration must know. He's in contact with his cabinet members, his agency officials that oversee this. And it is a tragedy what's happening. Pardon.
She's been there previously. I mean, she hasn't been there this time around. So clearly she has to have some concept of what's happening. We've heard from Democrats and Republicans there at the border. I keep thinking of Congressman Henry Cuellar, a Democrat there from Texas. This is impacting him and his constituents. He is well aware of the situation. He was the first one to release pictures from inside. So there's bipartisan objection. There's bipartisan concern about these people as human beings that has bubbled up to the Biden administration. There can be no doubt about that. Senator Lindsey Graham, when he was there last week, said he talked to a top border official who told him they had briefed the Biden transition team, who had asked what will happen if we reverse some of these Trump policies. He says, Senator Graham, that they were told this is exactly what would happen, and he's now looking for answers about who in Washington was informed about this and why they proceeded anyway. Kevin Corke reported a bit earlier about the Washington Post is talking about that ICE is going to put thousands of people, tens of millions of dollars to house them in hotels, to get them testing, which is good. Everybody agrees they should have COVID testing. They should have health care if they're in need when they show up. But where do we go from here? There seems to be no appetite, whether Republicans or Democrats are in charge of Washington, for getting this resolved in some more permanent, substantive way.
Well, Shannon, when President Trump was in office, he had really solved this problem. Not totally. You're never going to end 100% of people crossing the border illegally. But he had made those agreements with the Mexican president. They put troops on the border. They also kept everyone who was seeking asylum in Mexico so they could come here orderly when their time was certain. Since Biden came in, and I thought Obama was bad on the border. Biden has made Obama look like a piker in terms of his border policy. Biden either is being lied to by his cabinet officials, either he knows the truth and is lying to the American public, because it is so obvious to see. Even people around the country who do not live in Texas, who haven't been to the border, can watch the videos, the limited videos and the limited photographs, but we are overrun. America is under siege. I don't care what AOC says. It is an invasion of people from around the world coming here. It is a surge, AOC, coming here. We are up 100% over 2020 at this period of time with families here. We're up almost 180% of unaccompanied minors here. What are we going to do in America with all of these children? And the hotel package they put together comes out to thousands and thousands of dollars per illegal immigrant. They're flying them all over the country. You heard everything they're getting when they come here. And in addition to that, my guess is what will come with their hotel package is fast express lane citizenship before the 2024 elections. And there'll be some of those folks that they want to legalize for vote harvesting. This is about the Democrats taking power permanently in this country on the backs of these people who will they will sign up and give them citizenship and voter registration, and that's what this is all about. How can you deny it at this point? I don't mean you personally. How can they deny it? Because you cannot make an excuse for kids drowning in the river, for our state and our country being overrun when they're in plain daylight. Plain to see.
And there are people who are coyotes and smugglers who are clearly feeding them messages that if they can just get here, their life will have a lot more promise. And that's got to be an appealing message for people who are in dire straits. But again, these are human beings and we have to figure this out. Lieutenant Governor, thank you for coming in.
Yes, Shannon, thank you.